Carlos Amezcua.
And I'm Christine Devine. Right now, take a look here. Breaking news. Skyfox over a pursuit. The driver reportedly involved in a murder or robbery. That chase starting at sunset in Rosemont about an hour ago. He's now traveling east on Beverly Boulevard, now in the Westlake district. He's gone from Echo Park back to Westlake and back again. He could have gotten on the freeways, Carlos, the 110, the 101, but he is staying right now on those surface streets. And look the way he's driving. Officers are very concerned about this one. He is a murder suspect. This car was stolen in North Hollywood area, and the man may be carrying a pistol or an AK-47. There's a big difference between those two guns, but we've seen him talking on the phone. He's driving slowly and quickly, sometimes erratically. He has almost hit people. He has hit one vehicle, and now he continues there on Beverly heading eastbound.
What's up, what's up? I hope everyone is out there doing great, and pues welcome back, thanks for staying tuned. And on this one, if you notice, the video already started, and on this one we didn't get into this video right here. It's this one right here happened in 2012, and it's my homeboy Chucky. Homeboys from a different generation, same neighborhood, different generation. And you know how it is, homie. Youngsters are knuckleheads. Homie was out there doing his thing, and pues on this day he went savage. He went rampage. He did his thing. So I don't suggest anybody out there getting high and going out there and doing things like this, but sometimes that's how it is. You have homeboys that get active like that, and unfortunately I had two homeboys who did this. And you will hear throughout the video or the story, I guess, but rest in peace to the homie Blanco, who, a few years prior to this, and the homie Chucky, doing time now. But check it out, man,
Well, officers are pursuing him at a safe distance. It doesn't seem like they're right on top of him. So they're not, at this point, it seems to me they're not anticipating doing any kind of a pit maneuver. They're just going to wait this guy out and see how long he decides to drive. He's not going to run out of gas, it seems to us, because they said the tank was full of gas. He's not going to run out of gas anytime soon, so he'll be able to drive around the city streets here without too much trouble. And at that rate of speed, he could do this all night, and the police would just follow him.
Well, people often will ask us, why don't police just put this to an end? Pedestrians are at risk, other motorists. But if you keep in mind here, they say that this guy has a gun in the car, so you don't want to get too close to him as an officer. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way. And they have to take this into account when this car does come to a stop.
You see there, helicopter's having a tough time zeroing in on exactly where he is because of the tall buildings downtown. And he will, if he does, he'll pop out right in between here in the buildings. But
and noting that he has moved into the downtown area. Again, he was more in the Westlake district, the Echo Park area, and now moving into the busy part of downtown. Again, freeways nearby, the 101, the 110. He has not gotten on the freeway, but this is kind of a change in location for him now.
He's gone over the bridge there. Okay, so just to explain how this all works with the helicopters, you have police helicopters at the main level there. They're the ones that are pursuing. They're the official pursuing authority, and so they get the airspace that is closest to the pursuit. And all the rest of the helicopters that are following this, and since we're the only newscast on at 7 o'clock in the evening right now in LA, it would be us and maybe another couple of other TV stations that aren't on the air live. We are watching this live. They stagger the elevation of the helicopters so that they're flying at a safe distance from each other. But it makes it very tricky to fly around downtown and be able to get the shots that we need to show you the pursuit. Now, he may have stopped the car. It's tough to tell. The police officer cars didn't pass this little open section that we see here of the street, and he hasn't shot out from any place here, so we're all right. Apparently we do not see any activity from our vantage point, but we hear that shots have been fired and that the suspect has been hit by the shots that were fired. Not sure if the officers fired first or if the suspect turned in and fired, but there you see the officers with their cars doors open, and the suspect has been shot. You see him there lying on the street.
Carlos, it looks like there may have been some kind of accident or something in that you see a second car there. Perhaps something like that happened and the suspect got out and tried to run. But as we pull out a little bit to give this a little bit of distance on this shot, you can see there is a man down there on the ground, and word from LAPD is that the suspect has been shot.
Well, you're right. There may have been a collision. The collision may have precipitated the suspect to run. And if he did anything at all, and he made any kind of a gesture towards the police officers with a weapon or a cell phone or anything like that, they're going to consider that a threat and fire on him. And it looks like they did fire on him, as you see the tactical team now move in, and they'll make sure that no one else is in that suspect vehicle. They'll make sure that the person in the other vehicle that was apparently hit is safe and needs any medical attention. They'll get right to it and see the paramedics now running to the vehicle that was hit to see if everyone there is okay or what's going on. But clearly the suspect is on the ground. He is not moving. They are not rushing to his aid to see if he is alive or dead. And we will keep this at a tasteful distance, because obviously we don't want to zoom in into a situation like this and see anything.
Let me add one more thing before we toss it to a break. Keep in mind the man they were following right here, his brother had been killed by police. So the mindset of this guy leading police on this more than an hour-long pursuit, we don't know where he was at with this. We don't know how all this went down. But again, the suspect has been shot by police, and he was said to have a weapon in the car. So what happened there before this came to an end, we'll find out.
And if he was distraught about his brother being killed by police, he may have decided that was the way he was going to go out too, and they call that suicide by cop. We don't know all those details at this point as you see the clouds moving in. All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back and see if we can follow up and find out a little bit more for you as we continue here on Fox News at 7 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Higher ranking. Oh, here we go. Right there. Right there.
A violent crash brings this dangerous pursuit to an end, but it took a barrage of bullets for police to finally take the suspect into custody. Good evening. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Paul Majors. Police are still on the scene at Bixel and 7th Streets in downtown LA, where the chase came to that dramatic hit, a shootout between officers and the armed suspect. And a warning, you may find some of the video we're about to show you disturbing. We have live team coverage tonight. We begin with CBS 2's Soraya Fidel at the scene. Soraya.
Well, Paul, people who live and work here couldn't believe their eyes. It was an intense situation that rattled many nerves out here. Right behind me is where it all unfolded. Right now, 8 blocks are cordoned off. This is now an officer-involved shooting investigation. I'm told innocent bystanders are still being interviewed. Our cameras in the air and on the ground captured the final moments of the pursuit and the shootout in downtown LA. The armed suspect crashed into a car. Sources tell me he then pulled out an AK-47 and started to fire at LAPD officers. Officers fired back.
When I heard the shots, I jumped behind the wall.
We were several feet away as gunfire erupted at 7th and Bixel. Sources tell me at one point the suspect's assault rifle jammed. SWAT was on scene. Officers out of Metro Division were armed with handguns and rifles. An innocent woman was pulled from a car at the shooting scene. A canine brought in to help take the suspect into custody. The suspect sustained gunshot wounds and was then taken to LA County USC. We don't know his name, age, or motivation, but do know he's wanted for a carjacking at gunpoint, that crime committed in Studio City this morning. He's also wanted for a Rampart murder that took place in July. It was a dangerous LAPD pursuit for more than an hour through Echo Park, Silver Lake, Westlake, and MacArthur Park. We watched as the driver traveled the wrong way, driving erratically with a full tank of gas. He drove the stolen car blowing through stop signs and red lights. Other times he slowed down. We saw several near collisions with pedestrians. We're told an activated LoJack started the LAPD pursuit. Police sources tell me the suspect was texting on his cell phone, telling a friend he would not go down alive. But in fact, police believe he's expected to survive his injuries. He's in stable condition tonight. Detectives say it's too early to call this an attempted suicide by cop.